8th grade. We were approaching our second period of Arabic class, and I, like most of my friends, was bored. Nothing wrong with the subject or the teacher. It's just that everything seemed so repetitive. Then the teacher gave us a lesson that I will never forget. It's about the origins of words in the Arabic language. For you see, most words in the Arabic language can be derived from 3 simple letters. Imagine a language of 12 million and more words, mostly derived from 3 simple combinations of letters. Now, I've always been fascinated with languages. It's just that I thought there were a random sequence of sounds that meant a whole different array of things to another person. But they're anything but random. And it's not only languages themselves that I'm fascinated by, but everything related to them, like their history, for example. No matter how much I read about the subject, I could never in my mind conceive how they came to be. It's not like a random group of people came and decided, you know what, let's assign these random sounds, some random scribbles, and we'll see where we can go from there. And my captivation with languages has led me to learn them. Till now, I speak 4 languages: English, Arabic, French, Spanish. It's not a big accomplishment, but it's an ongoing process. And I hope it remains that way, for you can always learn more. And the more I learn from languages, from their vocabulary, to their idioms, to their sayings, the more I was bewildered by its mysteriousness. So, learning languages has given me opportunities I otherwise wouldn't have. They've allowed me to come up here on stage and talk to you about them. When I went to Sweden with my football team, I was my team's translator. There was a volunteer who would only speak Swedish and Spanish. I really felt proud knowing that a room of 10 people or more, I was the only one who could understand anything she was saying, especially when she was blatantly shouting at us for disorganization. French helped me make friends. Why say something in English when you can say it in French or Spanish? And Arabic. Arabic. How can I forget about Arabic? It's my mother tongue, my identity. For a language of 12 million and more words, it's quite hard to master. But thankfully, I grew up learning it. Now, I never truly realized the significance of languages until I went to China. China. People barely spoke any English there, if any at all. One of my main problems was in bargaining. I would sometimes have to resort to using a calculator to tell them my price. They'd always start off at a very high price of 1,000 yuan, or $150 for a souvenir. And I'll just press 50. They'll go drop down 900, 800, and I'll just press 50 until they agreed. Now, bargaining was hard by itself, but the bigger challenge, ordering food. At least those who I bargained with knew the numerical system. Ordering food, completely different story. One of my other main problems was checking if the dish contained any pork or not. I would often ask the cashier, "Excuse me, sir, does this contain any pork?" No answer. Does this contain any beef or pork, cow or pig? And when it all came down to this, when I had no other choice, I just had to do it. I would just stand and say, "Oink oink," or "moo moo." I didn't think I would have to reach that stage, but I did. But at what cost? At what cost? Now, that made me think to myself, wait, if I can't explain my order to Burger King, how would I explain my emotions to anyone if I had to? Just imagine this for a second. You're going to a psychologist. You want to talk about something inside you just want to release. One catch though, he or she does not understand anything you say. How hard would that be? You'd have to act it out. You're feeling betrayed? You'd have to act like Julius Caesar when he was betrayed. Drop down on one knee and exclaim, "Et tu, Brute?" Well, that's quite hard by itself. And then I said to myself, wait, languages don't only help me explain my emotions to other people, but to myself. For our ability to understand our emotions is dictated by our ability to express them. So to simplify, to know whether I'm sad or not, I should assign a meaning to it, a label. The more I'm able to assign a meaning, the more I'm able to understand my emotions. But I'm no neuroscientist. I'm not a psychologist. I can't base a claim on my own reasoning. I'll have to do more research on that. And from what I've read, I can proudly say that I'm not completely wrong, but not completely right either. Now, to be honest, I really wanted to talk about this issue. It's just that the more I read about it, the more I realized that if I wanted to, I'd be just reciting a research paper, not even my own. What's the point? Who would care? Then I said, hey, I may not have been completely right, but at least I now know what is right. I learned something. It's not what I learned that's important, but how I came to learn it. It's through experience, the times where what I knew from languages did help me, and what I knew from languages did not help me at all. And that is how we acquire knowledge. We first give it an observation, we work on finding a claim, and we either work to prove it or to refute it. It's not about knowing what's right, but understanding what's wrong. Not about how much you know, but how much there is to know. And that is what fascinates me most about languages. Like knowledge, it's a journey of discovery. One whose final destination is what you set it to be. Now, some people are satisfied by knowing one language. Others two. Some three. It's how they use them that counts. As for me, I don't learn languages merely to communicate with others. Google Translate can often do a better job at that, especially in languages that I don't even know. No, it's not about understanding what people say, but how they say it, why they say it, what makes them say it. It's about understanding how people think, how the world functions. There will be times where what I know from languages will help me, and times where no matter how much I know about languages, it won't help me at all. It's not like I can oink oink, moo moo my way out of every situation, but it is fun trying. Now, some people wish to travel the world to discover new places. I wish to learn the world's different languages, to not only discover what's around me, but to discover myself, all through the power of words. Thank you.